So good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, we are about to start the session. So you have to give me just 2 minutes. Mohit, good morning. Varsha, good morning. So I have already uploaded the PDF for today's session and we will be starting up this particular session very soon. Priyanka, good morning. So here we are connected and live. Lakshmi, good morning. So we'll start our session in a while. Just wait for 1-2 minutes. Okay. A few of you must be having some. Shivani, good morning. Priyanka, you're asking about my username. Okay. So the point here is that I was not feeling well from few days, and other than that, my sessions are going on. Okay. So you people have the concern that why I have cut short the session. So I'm telling you, in couple of days we will be back with our full-fledged sessions. Okay. I'll also include the ethics question in it. So don't worry about it. So whatever I have promised, I'll deliver on that. So it is because my health was not supporting me, and according, like, other than that, my sessions are going on. Okay, at 11 a.m. I have my session, so the time is really less for me. So never mind. Like, we'll back on our track. Don't worry about it. Deepak, good morning. Roma, good morning. So sufficient number of people have joined us. Let's start our session without much delay. Okay. So Rawat resigns BJP legislator to meet today to elect the new leader. Okay. Now Uttarakhand Chief Minister stepped down amid delay in holding by-election. You need to understand, even if a person is unelected, he can be सीएम ऑफ अ स्टेट. ओके, आप अनइलेक्टेड हो पर आप सीएम रह सकते हो, एंड देर इज अ टाइम फ्रेम दैट विद इन 6 मंथ्स यू हैव टू गेट योर सेल्फ इलेक्टेड. 6 मंथ्स के अंदर आपको अपना जो है वोट प्रूव करना पड़ता है, आपको अपना इलेक्शन प्रूव करना पड़ता है. सो वी हैव दैट सिस्टम हियर, बट द पॉइंट हियर इज दैट ही वाज नॉट कमांडिंग द मेजॉरिटी एंड इट्स अ पार्टी डिसीजन दैट ही शुड बी रिमूव्ड. सो यू मे सी अ न्यू पर्सन विल बी मेड द चीफ मिनिस्टर. ओके, सो देखना पड़ेगा अब क्या है यहाँ पे. सो ये प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन जो है बनी हुई है, एंड दीज डेज देर आर हाईली सेंट्रलाइज्ड सिस्टम्स. ओके, how does this centralized system work in a party politics? That party high command takes the decision. Okay, party high command takes the decision, not the elected legislature. Okay, not the elected legislature. So this is the present situation, that party is dominating the elected body of the people. यहाँ पे पार्टी डोमिनेट कर रही है. ओके, सो ये पॉइंट आपको समझना है. यहाँ पे पार्टी आपकी डोमिनेट कर रही है, ठीक है ना, नॉट द इलेक्टेड लेजिस्लेचर विच हु आर द ट्रू रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ द people. Okay, so Lashkar e Toiba could be behind the drone attack in Jammu, says the DGP. So we have to still figure it out, कौन है ये. Okay, other than that, there was yesterday there was reporting that Indian High Commission in Pakistan, drones were flying over it. Okay, along, like, over Indian High Commission in Pakistan, drones were flying over it. So it was miscreation by Pakistan, ऐसा लग रहा है. Okay, so we'll move next now. Now goods export touched the record 95 billion in quarter 1. It's a good development कि यहाँ पे इतनी तेजी से जो है आपके एक्सपोर्ट्स बढ़ रहा है, क्योंकि ये आपकी इकोनॉमी की हेल्थ पे इम्प्रूव करेगा. इट इज़ गोइंग टू इम्प्रूव द हेल्थ ऑफ योर इकोनॉमी, एंड डेफिनेटली इट्स अ पॉजिटिव साइन. ओके, it's a positive sign that your economy is reviving. Look, when it is coming out with a positive sign, it means that there are chances that more FDI will come in. Okay, जब ऐसे पॉजिटिव सिग्नल्स मिलते हैं तो इट मीन्स दैट मोर एफडीआई विल ऑल्सो कम। तो ये थोड़ा अच्छा एक सिग्नल होता है। नाउ विद इंडिया रजिस्टरिंग इट्स हाईएस्ट क्वार्टरली मर्केंडाइज एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ $95 billion during the first quarter of 2021-2022, the country is now eyeing a target of 400 billion in the merchandise export. And I am telling you, this is the same time जिस टाइम पे हमारे यहाँ पे जिस टाइम पे हमारे यहाँ पे लॉकडाउन इम्पोज हुआ था, ओके, लाइक इवन ड्यूरिंग द लॉकडाउन यू हैव डन फेयरली वेल, सो डेफिनेटली इन other quarters your exports are going to increase. Okay, so as per the official data release, the exports rose by 47% to 32 billion in the June, following a strong growth in the sectors such as engineering, gems, ज्वेलरी एंड पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स। ओके, सो इन मेजर सेक्टर्स में जो है हमने अच्छे से ग्रो किया है। now why these sectors are important? Because these sectors are already performing well. So if you want to further increase your export, what you can do is you can facilitate the ease of doing business in these particular sectors. आप इन सेक्टर्स को आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए और यहाँ पे जो है आप ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस को फर्दर फैसिलिटेट कर सकते हैं। दिस इज व्हाट वी कैन डू। ओके, दिस इज व्हाट वी कैन डू। सो विल मूव नेक्स्ट नाउ, आगे चलते हैं। So other than that, there is nothing much. Now Kerala's houseboat get ready to sail. So why it is important? So it is important because tourism industry has been majorly hit due to the lockdown. आपकी tourism industry जो है उस पर बहुत बुरा असर पड़ा है, and revival of that industry is really important because it is a major employer for people. Okay, can anyone tell me how many people are employed in tourism industry? टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री में कितने लोग एम्प्लॉयड हैं? क्या आप में कोई मुझे बता सकता है, लाइक विद गूगल सर्च एंड ऑल? सो डेफिनेटली इट्स अ पॉजिटिव साइन अगर आपकी जो है टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री रिवाइव होती है। एंड अदर देन दैट, इफ यू सी इन टर्म्स ऑफ टर्नओवर आल्सो, द कोटा फॉर टूरिज्म इज क्वाइट बिग। ओके, काफ़ी बड़ा जो है हिस्सा आपकी जीडीपी का टूरिज्म से आता है। So this is what we should know about. So we'll move next now. Directly we'll move to the editorial section. Let's see what's there in it. Now it's this editorial has been written by M.K. Narayanan. Like he is a former national security advisor, a very prominent person. Okay, so he knows a lot about the China and he has shared with us. So in centenary backdrop, this is no hand of peace. Okay, now this is what they are saying, that China is not ready to offer us peace, okay, and they have pointed out certain things, certain behavior of Chinese leaders, okay, certain behavior of Chinese leaders जो कि हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे, ठीक है ना? So Beijing recent and muscular behavior towards India could stem from deeper tension within China. Okay, so the point he is making is that the relation with India is bad because there are some tensions going on within the Communist Party, and it can be a tactic to divert the attention. तो ये जो है आपका अटेंशन डाइवर्ट करने का एक तरीका हो सकता है। दिस इज व्हाट ही इज मेंशनिंग अबाउट। ओके, दिस इज व्हाट ही इज मेंशनिंग अबाउट। सो अब आप आगे देखिए, लाइक atmosphere of unpredictability prevails as regard India-China relations, even as China has embarked the 100th anniversary celebration for the foundation of Communist Party of China. Okay, so it means that there is no clarity, uncertainty is there. What, how talks are going on in your border area, we have no information about it. Okay, we have no information about it, what they are doing, how things are moving ahead. Situation is still very tense. Okay, this is the reality that we know. And China is like reportedly raising a new militia unit comprising of local Tibetan youth. Okay, so this is what they are coming up with. तो लोकल तिब्बतन यूथ को जो है वो यहाँ पे लेके आ रहे हैं, and like they will be deployed in eastern Ladakh. So India has meanwhile been expressing its concern to China about continuing close-up deployments. तो हमने तो अपना कंसर्न बिल्कुल वहाँ पे रखा है कि आप बिल्कुल कितना क्लोजअप डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हो। देर आर हाई चांसेस दैट दोबारा गलवान इंसिडेंट जैसी कोई चीज़ हो जाए। ओके, सो आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन एज टू व्हाई चाइना चोज टू अटैक इंडियन पोजीशन इन लद्दाख is still no clarity. There is no clarity like why they attacked the Indian position without any provocation. Okay, and like soldiers died on Indian side as well as on the Chinese side. So the answer have to be explored, like what was the reason why China choose that particular step. Okay, so there are some global concerns also now expressing concerns about the threat posed by China to the existing world order. So, this is not only in border areas with India, China has shown the aggressiveness across all the spectrums, okay, be it your South China Sea and other areas, तो aggression तो आपको बिल्कुल नजर आया ही है यहाँ पे. So, during the past month, both the G7 and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization have criticized the China for its military ambition, but the reality is that China के ऊपर इस चीज़ का कोई असर नहीं पड़ा है. Whatever they are saying. So it is unlikely to deter the China about all these things, and we have seen how they are moving ahead with East China Sea and South China Sea and in the Hong Kong as well. Okay, so a lesser nation might be deterred by the kind of criticism that China is facing. So अगर चाइना की जगह कोई और होता तो वहाँ पे ज़रूर वो थोड़ा डर जाता. But China is not, like deterred by this. This is the reality. So this is what they are saying, that we have to find the proper explanation for China's behavior, that why are they are behaving in such a way. So they are mentioning here, Mr. Narayanan is mentioning about the past experience of Chinese leadership. So be it Mao Zedong or Deng Xiaoping, whenever their रूल देयर कंट्रोल हैज़ बिन थ्रेटन्ड डोमेस्टिकली, जब भी चाइना के ऊपर चाइना के रूलर्स का जो कंट्रोल है वो थ्रेट होता है, तो दे डू सम एक्सटर्नल एक्ट्स, दे डू सम सर्टेन एक्ट्स जो कि अपने रूल को स्ट्रेंथन कर सके. सो माओ जेडोंग इन 1962 ही स्टार्टेड अ वॉर अगेंस्ट इंडिया. डेंग जियाओपिंग ही केम आउट विद अ Tiananmen Square movement. Okay, like 10,000 students were killed. 10,000 students were killed. Okay, so this is what, you know, Chinese leadership think. And in the present scenario, if you see Mr. Xi Jinping is facing the threat within the Communist Party. He is facing the challenges there. Okay, वहाँ पे challenge है, and this could be the diversionary tactic कि वो जो है पूरे देश का ध्यान जो है हटा के इंडियन बॉर्डर की तरफ ले जाए. Okay, so ये point यहाँ पे इन्होंने बताया है. Basically he wanted to consolidate his power. अपनी पावर को कंसोलिडेट वो करना चाहते हैं. नाउ लेट्स लुक इनटू द चाइनीज इकोनॉमी. तो चाइनीज इकोनॉमी इज स्लोइंग डाउन, दैट्स द रियलिटी. ओके, सो इट मीन्स दैट विद इन द चाइना there is unemployment, people are not happy with the regime, so this could be the diversionary tactic. Okay, so Mr. Z seems to find it difficult to push through his new socialist ideology कि आपको जो है चाइना को और आगे लेके जाना है. सो अब चीज़ें जो हैं थोड़ी डिफिकल्ट हो रही हैं. ओके, थोड़ी डिफिकल्ट हो रही हैं. नाउ देर आर सम क्लूज. मिस्टर जी इज फाइंडिंग हिमसेल्फ टू बी इन डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन. ओके, and there is a proverb, Chinese proverb, which says that wind sweeping through the tower held on storm rising in the mountain. Okay, so it means that there is some trouble going on within the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, and there is no clarity, and deep fissures have existed in the past and still they are existing, but because of the closeness of the Chinese society चीज़ें बिल्कुल बाहर नहीं आती हैं, तो वहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ अंदर चल रही है. So it is tempting to think that history is again being repeated. China's recent erratic behavior is largely due to the growing inner party criticism. तो ये बिल्कुल आप सोचो कि ऐसा हो सकता है, बट इट कैन बी द अदर वे अराउंड. ओके, सो लद्दाख एडवेंचर कुड बी वेल हैव बीन अ मिसगाइडेड अटेम्प्ट बाय मिस्टर जी. क्या पता उन्होंने एकदम मिसकैलकुलेट कर दिया हो. एंड अदर पॉइंट इज दैट what may be aggravating Chinese leadership concern at this time is that world is seemingly tilting towards India. Be it the Western power and the other countries, they all support India. Okay, within the Communist Party itself, there are some people who say that India, like there should be peaceful coexistence with India. कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के अंदर भी ऐसे लोग हैं जो कहते हैं कि इंडिया के साथ पीसफुल एग्जिस्ट करना चाहिए. ओके, और यहाँ पे जो है जी के लिए एक चैलेंज यहाँ पे हो सकता है. सो here Z might be looking for the Faustian bargain. Now ये क्या होता है कि ये इंडिया से बार्गेन करना चाहते हैं कि अगर इंडिया के साथ पीस चाहिए, इंडिया को अगर पीस चाहिए तो वट एवर टेरिटरी चाइनीज है ऑक्यूपाइड, वो टेरिटरी चाइना ही रखेगा. दिस कुड बी द बार्गेन. ओके, सो मिस्टर जी हैज मेड येट अनदर सीरियस मिसकैलकुलेशन. दिस इज व्हाट मिस्टर नारायणन इज पॉइंटेड आउट, बिकॉज यहाँ पे मोदी गवर्नमेंट जो है दे विल नॉट बी रेडी विद दिस, एंड इंडिया इज प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द प्रोलॉन्ग्ड डिसरप्शन. ओके, और आने वाले टाइम में बहुत प्रोवोकेशन होंगे चाइना की तरफ से, तो वी शुड बी बेटर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट. दिस इज व्हाट मिस्टर नारायणन इज हाईलाइटिंग. ओके, सो ये आपका एडिटोरियल था यहाँ पे. सो the utility of this particular editorial is that you can directly quote Mr. Narayanan in your answers. आप अपने answers में Mr. Narayanan को directly quote कर सकते हो. Okay, so ये आप आपके answer की quality improve करेगा because he is a like renowned figure. Okay, rural power solutions even other states can emulate. Now here they are talking about the recent initiative made by the Rajasthan. तो राजस्थान ने यहाँ पे कुछ initiative लिया है, उससे related जो है यहाँ पे editorial है. So, as a recent ruling by Rajasthan's power regulator implies, enabling energy access must go beyond powering rural homes. Over the past decade, India has made great strides in expanding the energy access in rural areas. Credible estimates suggest a near doubling of electrified rural households from 55% in 2010 to 96% in 2020. However, the measure of access to power supply has been the number of households and the electricity grid. It discounts large areas of essential and productive human activities such as people, public school and primary health centers. Okay, so here they are telling that आप definitely power को expand कीजिए और यहाँ पे राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट ने एक initiative लिया है that they have directed the discoms that you go and provide solar power to health centers and public schools. Okay, वहाँ पे आप solar power unit लगाइए. This is what they are saying. The other reality of rural power is that power supply is quite unreliable in rural area. Okay, काफी unreliable रहता है. So this is the initiative that they have taken. So Rajasthan Electricity Regulatory Commission has ordered the state's three power distribution companies to solarize the unelectrified public schools. Okay, and rear about 1500 government run schools can be electrified now. Okay, government schools serve as a public space in rural area. They doubled up as COVID-19 care centers in the past year and have housed villagers from extreme weather such as storm and floods. Okay, now battery storage of power ensure that they can cater to children's after school activity. अब वो बैटरी वहाँ पे लगाने की बात इन्होंने कही है एंड डेफिनेटली उसका बेनिफिट क्या होगा, बच्चे जो हैं स्कूल अटेंड करने के बाद शाम को भी एक्स्ट्रा अगर रिक्वायरमेंट हो तो पढ़ सकेंगे. ओके, now schools could also extend power supply to midday meal kitchen, toilets, motorized water pumps. बाकी जगहों पे भी ये जो है पावर भेज सकेंगे. So it is in line with the clean energy drive and what they are doing is that they are saying that these cash strapped discoms they can explore the corporate social responsibility. Okay, आप corporate fund को use कीजिए, you can talk to them that you are going to use their corporate social responsibility fund. So ये जो है government की जो discoms है उनके ऊपर से burden भी हटाता है. Okay, and other than that you can also have the renewable purchase obligation that whatever they are power they are producing, the same discoms can procure that power from the produced unit. तो स्कूल से अगर पावर बन रही है क्योंकि वहाँ पे सोलर पावर प्लांट लगा होगा तो वो पावर जो है दोबारा जो डिस्कॉम है वही खरीद सकता है. ओके, सो आरपीओ इज द proportion of power that distribution company must procure from the renewable source. So we have such arrangement here. So achieving a target that they are saying, Rajasthan has itself set a target of 30 gigawatt. Okay, gigawatt. It currently has installed capacity of about 5 gigawatt. Okay, so state must install as at least 7 gigawatt every year. देखो टारगेट बहुत बड़ा है बट ये टारगेट राजस्थान शायद कवर कर सकता है अगर 7 gigawatt के राउंड वो हर साल जो है करे. So Rajasthan is India's largest state in terms of land mass, vast, sparsely populated. Okay, so there are some challenges like climate change. वो क्या करते हैं कि यहाँ पे आपकी पावर यूनिट्स को इम्पैक्ट कर सकते हैं, पावर प्रोडक्शन को इम्पैक्ट कर सकते हैं. सो यू हैव टू एक्सप्लोर डिफरेंट वेज. ओके, सो बिल्डिंग सच एज प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर, पंचायत ऑफिस, रेलवे स्टेशन, बस स्टॉप्स, हर जगह पे जो है आप पावर यूनिट्स लगा सकते हो क्लीन एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन के लिए. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी कैन डू. ओके, और दिस इज द वे टू क्लाइमेट प्रूफ योर पावर प्रोडक्शन और यही आज करना पड़ेगा. सो लार्ज स्केल प्रोजेक्ट्स आर जनरली फाइनेंस्ड बाय द कंपनीज दैट विश टू प्रॉफिट फ्रॉम द इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल. They are less interested in investing in rural electricity. Okay, so large grid based projects add to supply of power in urban area, therefore only marginally further greater energy access goals. Okay, so as solar installations become inexpensive and with rapidly advancing battery storage technology, decentralized solar power generation can become a reality. तो यहाँ पे इस इनिशिएटिव के थ्रू जो है डिसेंट्रलाइज सोलर पावर जनरेशन आप कर सकते हो और ये हमें एक्सप्लोर करना पड़ेगा कि स्कूल्स के अंदर, प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर, पंचायत भवन, उन जगहों पे आप जो है जाके पावर यूनिट लगाइए. ओके, सो राजस्थान मॉडल कैन बी रेप्लिकेटेड इन अदर स्टेट्स एज वेल. तो हम सब बाकी जो है इनसे सीख सकते हैं. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट दिस एडिटोरियल इज अबाउट. सो वी विल मूव नेक्स्ट नाउ. So other than that, there is nothing much on this particular page. Okay, now judges must look at facts of the case and its human aspect. This is what CGI is pointing out. He is saying that okay, facts are also important, plus look into the conditions. Okay, conditions are also important. Sometimes what happens is that it's about the circumstances जो कि किसी भी व्यक्ति से कुछ गलत करवाते हैं. Okay, so it is important that those circumstances are to be considered. Those circumstances are to be figured in while giving your judgment. This is what CJI is pointing out. Now, how High Court asked Bengal police to take note of the NHRC report. So NHRC has pointed out that there was some political violence. Okay, so यहाँ पे political violence के cases काफ़ी आ रहे थे और NHRC also pointed out this thing. Okay, so other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. So House panel awaits state surveys on the learning losses. Okay, losses. कितना नुकसान हुआ है students का. Okay, so recently there was a news that in Haryana like 12.5 lakh students were missing from private schools. Okay, so there were some findings and government is really concerned about that how come it is possible. Okay, 2 साल में ऐसा कैसे हो गया. So ये reality है. Other than that, there is nothing much. Anganwadi workers struggle with center's order on portion. Now, what this struggle is, there is a portion tracker, okay, which center has brought in. That these Anganwadi workers, they have to download this particular application. So this application will track whatever the Anganwadi workers are doing. जो भी वो कर रहे हैं वो track होगा, पूरा report होगा. And Anganwadi workers are not happy with that. Okay, ये उससे खुश नहीं है. So there are other reasons also. Other reasons that their salary is not timely released. Time पे उनकी salary release नहीं होती है. And there is a like portion, if you know, this is a derive. Okay, nutrition जो है वो लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए पोषण अभियान गवर्नमेंट ने एक स्टार्ट किया था. Okay, so this is what the picture is. ये reality है यहाँ पे. So other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. So we'll move next. Now China has improved its air operations. Like air chief is pointing out this thing. China ने अपने air operations बढ़ाए हैं. And there was another news related to, there was some disagreement between the chief of the defense staff and the air force chief. Okay, so chief of defense staff pointed out that air force is a unit to support the other units. Like other units, air force is also just a unit to support them. But Bhudoria Saab, the like air force chief, he was pointing out this thing that air force has its own utility in the battle. Okay, it is not just a supporting arm, it has its own decisive role. Okay, this is what he was pointing out. And like there is another debate related to creation of theater command. तो यहाँ पे थिएटर कमांड बताने की बात चल रही है. ओके, विच विल बी पुट अंडर अ सिंगल यूनिट. सिंगल कमांडर के अंडर वो डाला जाएगा. सो आर्मी, एयरफोर्स और नेवी तीनों के मिला के जो है एक सिंगल कमांड बनेगी. और देर विल बी सिंगल कमांडर, वेदर एयरफोर्स पर्सन और आर्मी पर्सन. ओके, सो गवर्नमेंट उस डिज़ाइन की तरफ आगे चल रहा है. बट यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं डिसएग्रीमेंट सामने आ रहा है. ओके, अदर देन दैट देर इज नथिंग मच, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. विल मूव टू नेक्स्ट पार्ट नाउ. आगे चलते हैं. ओके, so estimate of 216 crore vaccine doses was aspirational. So this is what we are targeting. Definitely you have to come out with the good targets ताकि अगर half भी achieve हो जाए तो भी बहुत अच्छा एक improvement लेके आए. Okay, definitely it is going to help us in enhancing our infrastructure. कि आप इतना बड़ा infrastructure बना रहे हो. Other than that, there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं है. We'll directly move to the international page. Okay, let's see what exactly is there for us. After 2 decades, US exits the key Afghan bases. So this is what they are moving ahead with now. US exit, and it was a big news in the sense because it is going to create the power vacuum. Okay, यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं power vacuum रहेगा, and other players like Russia, China, they are looking for the opportunity to occupy that space. Okay, and this is the concern for India. India के लिए भी concern है. One point is that Taliban is coming back to power, and which is somehow pro-Pakistan. Okay, so this is the real picture that we have to live with. Taliban is pro-Pakistan and they are coming back to power. Okay, so this definitely there are some concerns for India. US is moving out. One concern is that Afghan jihad might be diverted to कश्मीर. ओके, यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं इसको कश्मीर की तरफ डाइवर्ट किया जा सकता है और ये हमारे लिए थोड़ा प्रॉब्लमेटिक होगा. दिस इज द रियल पिक्चर. Other than that, Israel strike Hamas site in Gaza over fire balloons. Okay, now it was expected that the peace was temporary. Okay, the ceasefire that they declare, it was temporary, and such events may continue in future. आने वाले टाइम में भी ऐसे events होते रहेंगे. So definitely आपको जो है इसको ठीक करना पड़ेगा. World over जो है इसके ऊपर जल्दी solution निकालना चाहिए. So pandemic increased the vulnerability to human trafficking. We know this fact. In India, like cases for human trafficking also increased. Okay, बहुत से ऐसे orphan बच्चे हैं, ठीक है ना, जिनके parents who has lost their parents, who have lost their parent, and definitely there are high chances that they might be trafficked. Okay, उनका trafficking यहाँ पे हो सकता है. So this is what this thing is about. So we'll move next now. Mali response to India's letter on media attack. Okay, so there was one campaign, hashtag India Out campaign. So this campaign was started in Mali, in like Maldives media. Okay, and India was not happy with that, and definitely the government over there is pro India. So India reported the matter to them. India ने जो है वो matter उनके वहाँ पे report किया है, and they might take some action because it is detrimental to the India Maldives relations. Okay, such things should not happen, and their government should take action for that. So US issues moratorium on the death penalty at federal level. This is going to start another debate in India. In India, should we done away with the death penalty? This is the debate. What do you think? Should we done away with death penalty? क्या डेथ पेनल्टी हमें रखनी चाहिए या हटा देनी चाहिए? दिस कैन बी अ पोटेंशियल डिबेट अबाउट योर जीएस पेपर 4. ओके, तो आप बताइए क्या डेथ पेनल्टी हमें रखनी चाहिए या हटा देनी चाहिए? व्हाट आर योर व्यूज अबाउट इट? Okay, so the world over there is a consensus that death penalty should be abrogated. There are more than 120 countries who have already done away with death penalty. तो death penalty वो बिल्कुल हटा दी गई है. इतने सारे countries already हैं यहाँ पे ऐसे. Other than that, you need to understand in India, law commission, okay, like in 1960s, law commission pointed out that we should keep death penalty, but as per the latest report, okay, latest report of law commission, it has pointed out that India should reconsider, okay, reconsider, and there should be debate whether we should keep death penalty or not. So, and there are some experts who have pointed out that for severe crimes like terrorism and all, you can keep death penalty. terrorism के लिए, heinous crimes के लिए आप death penalty रख सकते हो. बाकी crimes के लिए आप definitely death penalty को remove कर सकते हैं, because the world is moving towards that direction. Okay, and it is in line with the human values. Another point is that there has been multiple research. Okay, so there are people who think that death penalty act as a deterrence. तो ऐसा नहीं होता है, because research is not pointing out towards that direction. रिसर्च ये नहीं कहती है कि डेथ पेनल्टी जो है वो डेटरेंस की तरह एक्ट करती है. सो दिस डिबेट वाज देयर. क्यों ये डिबेट हुई थी? क्योंकि फॉर रेप केसेस डेथ पेनल्टी वाज ब्रॉट इन few states. एमपी वगैरह ने लाइक रेप केसेस के केस में भी जो है डेथ पेनल्टी लेके आए थे. सो बट द रियलिटी इज डिफरेंट. इट डजंट एक्ट एज अ डेटरेंस. दिस इज द रियल पिक्चर. ओके, ये रियल पिक्चर है. सो ये पूरी डिबेट यहाँ पे चली है, एंड इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर जीएस पेपर 4 दैट आप इसको पढ़ें. ओके, इंडिया सीज कंसेंसस बाय अक्टूबर ऑन OECD G20 ग्लोबल टैक्स डील. सो हेयर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द ग्लोबल टैक्स. तो क्या हमें एक ग्लोबल टैक्स रखना चाहिए? और ये चीज़ यहाँ पे एक्सप्लोर की जा रही है. मिनिमम ग्लोबल टैक्स की यहाँ पे बात हो रही है. वाई इट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंट? सी, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ बेस इरोजन. ओके, तो यहाँ पे बेस इरोजन का एक कंसेप्ट आता है. बेस इरोजन कैसे आता है? कंट्रीज दे हैव डबल टैक्सेशन एग्रीमेंट. कंट्रीज का डबल टैक्सेशन एग्रीमेंट होता है. अंडर दैट फर्म्स, इफ a firm is operating in India and it is registered in Singapore, तो उनको दो जगह टैक्स नहीं देना पड़ेगा, उनको एक जगह टैक्स देना पड़ेगा. ओके, they will pay tax only only in one country. Now thing here is that how they operate. See, if tax rates are less in Singapore, so these firms, they will continue their business in India, but they will just open up their small office in Singapore. वो वहाँ पे रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा लेंगे और छोटा सा ऑफिस खोलेंगे और फिर इंडिया के अंदर बिजनेस एक्टिविटी अपनी करते रहेंगे. ओके, सो दिस इज द प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन. नाउ इन दैट सिचुएशन इंडिया को नुकसान हो जाता है. नाउ आइडिया इज दैट यू शुड ब्रिंग इन द मिनिमल ग्लोबल टैक्स. मिनिमम ग्लोबल टैक्स इतना आप लेके आइए ताकि यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं जो आपके पास इंसेंटिव हो बिजनेस करने का, वो टैक्सेशन ना हो. वो इंसेंटिव क्या हो, विच कंट्री इज प्रोवाइडिंग द बेटर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। इस टाइप को, इस चीज को फोकस में लाके ये डिसीजन जो है लिया जा सकता है। एंड इट्स इन इंटरेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया, क्योंकि इंडिया को काफी नुकसान होता है। बाकी कंट्रीज में जो है कंपनीज अपना बेस बना लेती हैं, अपना ऑफिस खोल लेती हैं और टैक्स वो वहां देती रहती हैं। ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी कैन एक्सप्लोर नाउ, ये चीज यहाँ पे एक्सप्लोर की जा सकती है। Other than that, there is nothing much in this particular newspaper. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.